What's something your parents do now you're an adult that drives you up the wall? I send my mother $125 a week. He's old and can't work and she's my mum. You know? I can't fucking stand Donald Trump. But I'm certain that my mum donates money to him monthly. Which means that I indirectly support that piece of shit. And that really drives me up the wall. Edit, I stopped funding a pretty good invention idea related to extension ladder safety BC my mum couldn't work anymore too. I would rather my money go to that instead of Donald Trump. It's so frustrating that she happily votes against her best interests. They don't trim meat. I never liked the chicken or pork chops my mum made because they always had fat or gammy trims. Once I started cooking, I realized I could clean my meat and trim off the fats and gristle bits before cooking. I just went to have dinner with my dad, and watching him just throw to frozen chicken breasts in a skillet made me gag slightly. Like, I'm sure I'm probably not the majority. I just prefer to take the extra minute to trim the meat, and it's a major reason I hated food at home as a kid. Mine pay for my phone. I bought it, and could pay for it yet. They don't want me off their plan and also say things like, do you want us to cut off your phone? Like at this point, yes. They don't pay for my college. I lived at home for my first year, moving out next year and paying for literally everything in my life without them yet. They think I owe them thanks for my phone. They also think they get to have an opinion about if I work night shift and how much overtime I do. So I'd say that. Ask if I want one of them go come to medical stuff with me. They lived 1,000 miles away until November. So they're still riding that high. I've got some mental health issues that require a ton of meds, and so regular blood work is important too. As a kid I didn't like needles, and so every time I have a medical thing, I have to go in. My mom is like, do you need me to join you? I guess it's sweet. But how many nurs is it gonna take before she stops asking haha? Unfortunately, I've noticed how judgmental mine is, constantly commenting on people's looks. Particularly women. It's hard because my daughter has an eating disorder, and my mum just loves the F-word fat. TV discussing how she'd rescued 100 puppies or discovered the cure for cancer. A look at her. She shouldn't wear that dress at her size, suddenly it's generational, and I chose to break it. They're in their 70s now. And all they do is sit at home and drink vodka all day long until they pass out. They get pissed because I don't go visit often because I can't stand it. They refuse to go to the doctor. It's been at least 15 years since they've been. There is obvious health problems that worrying me to death, but if I bring it up they go off on me. Mum is almost blind because she needs cataract surgery, but refuses, and they changed all the lights in their house to be amber colored. It is lit up like orange Halloween decorations because they think it feels cozy. Oh, and my dad refuses to acknowledge daylight savings. If we tell him he is late, he argues we are early. Messed me up good when he had me run an errand in his car. And the clock was off without my realizing. I was an hour late to my own baby shower. Love them though. My mum banishes half of every meal to the shadow realm. She has two full-size freezers in the garage with 4 portions of every meal from the past 2 years. One time she gave us cupcakes that she'd been gifted for years before, and that was back when we only had 1 extra freezer. There are few things she hates more than hoarding, but yesterday's dinner is the one exception. My dad is very disorganized when it comes to paperwork. I always joke that if he doesn't organize his shit before he passes, I'm going to bring him back to life just to kill him again. LOL. My mum gives unsolicited advice constantly, and always feels the need for her opinions to be heard. Always needs to get the last word in. Refuse to ask for help. My mum has bought a cooker and a fridge freezer that aren't fully fit for their purpose because she went to one shop and picked the first one she saw. Me, my sister and brother-in-law could have spent a couple of hours on Google and found ones that better fitted her spec, but she will not ask. I have things figured out. So whenever I want to communicate to them about problems in my life, I get some short answer which does not solve anything. Father gets angry. Mum seems not to care too much. Guess I will just stop telling them anything and deal with shit in whatever ways. comment on things they'd never say to someone else, like how we decorated our home or what we've done with our garden. I asked my mother once why she thought she could come into our home and act that way. She was visible rattled and tried to laugh it off. My mum never has anything nice to say about my husband. Literally everything out of her mouth when it comes to him is negative. Then she wants to act heartbroken and surprised when her grandkids ask, "Why don't you like my daddy?" My parents still insist on giving me unsolicited advice about my career and relationships, as if I haven't figured out life on my own. It's like they missed the memo that I'm an adult now and capable of making my own decisions. My mum only calls if she needs something from me or has a question only I can answer. Yet, she says I don't call her frequently enough. She still doesn't seem to realize a telephone works two ways. Learned helplessness towards technology. My mum will wait weeks to use the printer until I come home and change the toner cartridge instead of reading the directions how to do it. Weird eating habits: half a piece of toast and peanut butter for breakfast, 2 cans of soup for lunch, no dressing on salad, no salt on the table, etc. Just start yelling over the smallest of inconveniences. I didn't realize that wasn't normal until I moved in with roommates and it was just so quiet. Still calling me all the time to check if I've eaten, what I'm up to, like I'm not capable of feeding myself or making plans. Giving unsolicited advice about everything from my job to my dating life as if I haven't got it somewhat figured out by now. Constant bickering. They're 88. And they have been married 67 years, so I don't expect them to change, but it drives me mad. When I hit 40, my mum and stepdad were in their 60s at the time, and still talking about their sex life. They still ask if I've made any new friends, like I'm still rocking the lunchbox and playground combo. My dad constantly shakes the popcorn bag when we're at the movies. Just eat a piece off the top, Dad. My parents would ask my siblings and I which parent we would live with if we had to choose one. Be racist and discriminatory. I don't understand why they must spend their last years hating. Parents seem to upgrade their roles from guardians to advisors without giving us the memo. Buy shit on QVC and make these goddamn payments on shit they don't need on a fixed income. Not respect privacy. Did I mention they used to interrogate people for a living? Lax on the grandkids. They get away with way more than I ever did as a kid, lol. Telling me I'm doing it wrong even though I have a college degree in the field. Binge drink alcohol and not look out for their health whatsoever. Still strict about dumb things. Like, bruh, I am 20. Treat me like a kid. Give me advice when I don't ask. My mum believes she can heal people with her hands.